Today on the Box Break Podcast, I talk about the bubble bursting in Pokemon cards. And we're going to crack a few more Darkness Ablaze as we get ready for Vivid Voltage next week.
What is up and what is good and what is going on? You are watching / listening to the fastest growing financial advice podcast based on cardboard pictures of cartoons. So today I'm gonna crack a few more Darkness Ablaze packs as I patiently and impatiently await Vivid Voltage. I'm just cleaning out some stock here. Hopefully can pull the VMAX Charizard, as I really am getting excited for the large amounts of Vivid Voltage I will be doing. I have at least 12 box openings set up. At least 3 Elite Trainer box openings set up. And today's topic, I want to talk about the idea of how not everything will always be as good as it seems. And it sounds like a very negative mindset and a very, it's like, oh, why would you say that? It's like this. And also some people think that their lives are so bad right now. It's like, what do you mean it doesn't stay this good? You mean it gets worse? No, well, what I mean is that don't take things for granted. Don't take things for granted in that what you have will always remain good. Like, thinking about the markets. Like, I know people say, I'm going to keep buying all the Charizards at these high prices. I was like, I don't know about that. You don't know how well it would stay, and then if you can buy them, but it's just how long are you willing to hold them? You know what I mean? Which is why I just stress all of these things. Like, I'm sitting here, let's just think about this for a second. I am sitting here doing a channel talking about how should we spend our money on little cardboard pictures of cartoons, right? We live in this is a very luxurious lifestyle. This is extras. These are extra things you have. There are people on this world who live in a way where they don't know where their next food's coming from. There are a lot of people like that who would do anything to have my problems, which is why I don't talk about, anything of my problems of that way. I live a good life. I can't say I don't, but I want to give everyone an opportunity to build a sustainable life, because no matter how good things seem, Murphy is always coming. Murphy's law is whatever bad can happen will happen. And if 2020 has taught you anything, let it teach you that nothing that you think is forever will be forever. Enjoy the concerts while you have them. Enjoy the shows while you have them. Enjoy the time with your friends and family. You don't know when it's the end. I'm going to get into some Darkness Ablaze, but really today it's less about the pack that I'm opening and really just more about the topic, and why I stress diversifying in every asset class, And that's why I tell people that, don't just put your eggs all in one basket, because it could all come crashing down. I know people who will tell me you should never touch the stock market. The stock market is corrupt. It's full of this. It's full of that. You should never buy anything from in Magic the Gathering. It's in a bubble. It's going to pop. You should never buy real estate. The bubble's going to pop. The bubble. Right? So I can accept the fact that, there's a very good chance that a lot of these things, fire energy, that they might actually be in a bubble. Pokemon might be in a super bubble and it'll crash down and that'll cost a lot of money. But as long as you're not putting money that you need into these cards, you should be fine. Don't take anything as it's just, that's it. It's bad. No, this sucks. Don't ever do that. I tell people, you should buy some cryptocurrencies. Why wouldn't you? Yeah, you should buy some investing in some overseas stocks. You should. You should have some, spread it out. That way you have these fail safes for when something goes bad. Think about somebody who had so much invested in oil in the mid 2000s. They would have been the big ballers talking about, look at all I got this. I'm going to go to the moon. I'm the king of the world. And now look. And there's a whole country out there that happened to. And you could go on YouTube and you can find the videos if you would like. the issue is that they put all their eggs into one ideal, into one thing. Spread it out. Don't be so, arrogant to think that you know the best way to do something. Move it around. It's why, years ago, I was just Magic. All I did was buy Magic cards. And you know what? As I got a Toxtricity, right? All I did was buy Magic cards and Magic sealed product and Magic everything. And I said, you know what? A few years ago, I said, listen, why don't I get my hands on some Pokemon cards as well? I really wish I was buying into other stuff then too, but these are the lessons I've learned along the way that I'm hoping to teach you. Buy a vast, I'm sounding my Brooklyn really comes out. Buy a vast array of investments. Don't just buy Pokemon. Don't just buy Magic. Don't just buy stocks. Don't just buy crypto. And be like, this is all I do. Now you can say, listen, why do you only invest in the S&P? Is well, because that kind of works for me. That's like a built-in diversified investment where I don't look at specific companies because I would have to go deep into their research and I don't know anything about those companies, So I just really prefer to do the S&P where I know the cards, but I could definitely, if someone gives me a good enough reason to buy a stock and they show me that, I'm going to put some money into it. And I'm okay if I don't make the huge bucks. Like, if you had just done this, that's a fallacy. That's stupid. To be like, if you had just put more money in, you would have made more. It's like, yeah, well, you know what? If I had just bought 15 more Charizards, BGS 9, I would have been able to buy a house by now. But I didn't. I don't know what was going to happen, but I moved it around, so at least I have a few. So I'm able to get my hands on some of the come-ups, and then I can spread it around. Always looking for the next opportunity instead of worrying about the ones I missed. It's a terrible idea to sit and go, I wish I just saved my cards. Like, well, yeah, of course. But the number one thing I ask people is, what did you do with the money? Did you spend the money on something that you needed? Did you spend the money in an investment that didn't work? Okay, one thing worked, but you can't tell the future. You cannot. So spread it around because you never know when the other shoe is going to drop. If you have a time machine, please by all means contact me. I'm looking to buy one. I'd be super happy. And I'm fired up about today's conversation because I'm hearing people all the time saying, listen, sell all the cards, sell everything. No, look at the investors losing. It's like, but the people who have these cards don't care. We don't care. We're fine. It's not going to be anything that's going to be like, I'm so broke now because it's like you're laughing. It's like, but what are you laughing at? The people who invested in this and did it correctly, they have fail safes. When they fall, the net is not here, it's here. It's not a big deal for if a Charizard goes down 20, 30% to them because it's not all they have. They didn't take all their money. They didn't take all, $10,000 to their name and bought one PSA 6 first edition Charizard. And now if it goes back down to $7,000 because the people who were able to purchase it have already purchased their positions and so the buying power of the market isn't there, then the people will have the ability to that's it. Now they lost $3,000. Someone else will be like, all right, talk to me in 10 years. Okay, so let me know where it's at in 10 years because they're thinking long-term. What's not something going to be in a week? What's going to be something in 5 months? You don't know. And you have to keep a position in your stuff is that you can afford to lose it. Don't invest any money that you can't afford to lose every single dollar of. That is a very simple point of view to know that you'll be fine. And by can't afford to lose, just being in a position where you can afford to lose money puts you better than almost every single person who's ever lived. So I'm talking to the people who have the ability to do that, and you should thank your lucky stars that you were able to do that because you are very fortunate. Most people aren't even alive. Think about that as I go on a crazy rant, right? Most people never had the chance. Most people never even had the chance to make a mistake. So be happy when you make a mistake. All right, I messed up. I bought a bunch of the Modern Horizons lands, didn't work. I bought a couple of Charizards, it did work. I'm happy for what did and didn't work. I bought a bad car, whatever, cost me tons of money. I bought a good car, it's been great for me now. So just be happy with it. But once you have, diversify. I'll say it 100,000 times until somebody hears me and repeats it in the chat. You got to diversify your money into different things to be able to fight off for the inevitability when Murphy comes. You have to. People are like, I don't buy sealed product. I don't buy this. Like, why don't you? Like, what's the reason for not? Give me a reason why not to do something. I like to know that my value in my money is going to stay relatively close. So this is the last card. Not a very good Darkness Ablaze pack, but I really just got to keep stressing it. I'm fired up about it today because I'm seeing a lot of people starting to talk about, oh, the Pokemon is dying, the market isn't doing what it was. And it's like, but why does it even matter if it goes down? Why do you care? It's like, okay, so it goes down a little bit. Sure. But you're going to be diversified to a point where you're never going to be able to fall all the way if one thing does. Because if you're locked in so far on one asset and one asset class, you are at the mercy of that asset. So I'm telling you to not be at the mercy of any asset, and that could be a job. An asset is just something that makes you money. That could be a job, that could be an investment, that could be a lot of different things. Never put all your eggs in any one basket, no matter what it is. So let's close it out. Darkness Ablaze, we got a hit in the back. Let's make this a Charizard. Let's go. All right, it is not, but it is a very nice Grim Snarl V Max card. So I please hope that you will hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, get the bell on. I'm going to have a few more rants coming up because I'm fired up. Last week had me pissed. This week, I'm really feeling good. All right, I'm feeling as if we're on the way up. And now it's because I'm seeing some of the retracing in Pokemon markets. So you're seeing some of the people who are not willing to hold on fall off. But I tell you right now, you got me hanging. And I'm stronger than ever, baby. All right? So like, share, and subscribe. Box Break Podcast. Got another episode coming out Friday. Not even sure when I'm opening yet. But what I do know is next week, I'm going to have Vivid Voltage Booster Box openings all week long. And some Elite Trainer Box Boosters. Elite Trainer Box openings. So please get the bell on. Get ready to see that. Like, share, subscribe. Tell your friends about this. Going to have some giveaways soon. So until then, hope everyone has a great rest of their week and a great rest of their day. Take care, everyone.